From Dozy Place on Government Street in Mid-City. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Live Lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hannegriff, Jimmy Ott, Max Gotro, Jordan Kinchins back in the studio. Andy Isco with us from Las Vegas. We do first class, second class, no class on Tuesdays. NCAA tournament starting tonight. The first couple of games in the first four, and what's left of the NIT and the the CBI. No, not the CBI, but the Crown tournament. All of that getting underway. But you know what else got underway today? Jimmy, good morning. You look like you've been up a while. did you and Hunt get up together this morning and meet up somewhere?
No, man, I can't.
And get into Dodgers Cubs on the first day of the Major League Baseball season. Got to be the earliest baseball.
Charlie, when you get
started.
as old as me, your sleep patterns take what you can get. Beggars can't be choosy.
So you didn't get up at 5:30 a.m. to make sure
I didn't
pre-game for Dodgers Cubs.
No, I'm actually, if I was rolling over, I was listening to bracket breakdowns from my favorite shows and podcasts, because baseball gonna be here, man. It's gonna be here for a while.
For a long time.
Okay, yes. I can't rush into something that's gonna be here for a long, long time with no basketball,
right?
No football.
Yeah,
got a little tennis in there, even. You know, what I mean, it's the dog days of summer, Charlie. I mean, the baseball. And listen, I'll be betting on Major League Baseball as much as anybody and watching, but can I enjoy March Madness?
Hey, I didn't get up either. Hunt called. I had a missed call from Hunt. He's throwing a little get together for the Cubs opener. And
breakfast,
by like
coffee.
By like 8:30 this morning, he had already declared the season
Kids
a loss. It's it. Season's over.
Now, come on, Hunt's not like, he's not reactionary like that.
No, I'm kidding on all of that. But although he
Cubs
was up watching.
They're favored to win the division.
Are they really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
St. Louis, an uncharacteristic
rebuild.
Yeah.
And a rebuild.
Milwaukee exceeded expectations last year, and they were great. They played the game. They played winning baseball, not statistically motivated baseball, and just did the little things. And little things win, but then they lost a couple of big pieces, man. Burns on the hill, and then Amadi. Amade's. What's the hitter?
That guy. You're not in baseball mode.
Come on, man.
I get it. I was just giving you grief about getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to watch baseball from Japan.
5 every day, Charlie.
To watch baseball. No, to watch baseball. In Japan.
No, I'm March Madness mode right now, dude. Where are we gonna be tomorrow?
Beau Rivage.
What we got tonight? First four,
yeah.
And how long does it last?
3 weeks.
3 weeks yesterday.
3 weeks from yesterday. Yep.
Enjoy it.
I am.
Because it's gone. It's going to be gone.
I'm going to enjoy the whole thing. I just want to know if you
were
watching baseball
and then
this morning.
The Cubs will be, in 3 weeks, will be what?
In last place?
3-3. The Dodgers will be 6-1 or something. This is going to be okay.
This is early to start baseball. We used to start Cincinnati the first week in April. But
once upon a time, we do the shows on Final Fours, and you have that you play the Final Four Saturday, and Sunday is kind of a recoup day, and then you have the women's Final Four, and then Monday night we're starting at 8:20 Central. We got all day, all night. It's opening day. That was, to me, that was perfect.
Yeah.
That was opening day, and you had, 8-10 games and matinees, and kind of your lead up, your undercard to the national championship game. And I don't know what happened to that. So they keep creeping up earlier. I understand overseas, you want to try and you don't want to put it too close to the schedule because you don't want to tax the teams, with the travel any more than they're going to be. You want them, give them time to recover from their travel. I get it, but no, I am not in baseball mode right now.
Me neither. I was mostly giving
so you bring this crap up.
I was mostly giving you a hard time. That was all just in case you.
The Cubs are the Cubs, man. They're just,
I'm not in any way worried about it. And
I was really excited. I thought they had things in place for a consistent run at two different stages. And that's with the Wood Pryor. I mean, those two guns, they stay healthy. I mean, that can carry you. Can it not? Those two guys, if they were,
they would have gone a long way.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. And then the young team that broke through against the Indians and won it all. I mean, they had so many young pieces. You know, Bryant and Schwarber and oh God, the shortstop,
Rizzo,
Rizzo, the middle infielder. I mean, just a lot of pieces, man. But you know,
no World Series champion has repeated since 2000 or has even gone back. Has even gone back to the World Series since 2009 when the Phillies went back, and nobody's won it back-to-back since 2000 when the Yankees did. So, like you said, we got a lot of time to talk about that, even though the Dodgers have a payroll that's about the size of the GDP of Panama. They're no lock to win it, but they did win this morning, in case you weren't up 4-1 over the Cubs. We do have first four. This starts at 5:40. This is the time of the year where however you access your basketball viewing, you go find out where True TV is. That's St. Francis in Alabama State. But
what channel is it on DirecTV?
True, I have no idea. I don't have DirecTV, so you're gonna have to find that one. But
what's it on Cox?
True TV is like 50-something, 51, yeah. But in the North Carolina San Diego State game, which is the far more interesting game, is that one too. Does it
246 on DirecTV? Okay. What is it on Cox?
51.
51?
I think it's 51.
51.
This is where we get reintroduced to that the blooper show.
The Practical Joke?
Yeah, Practical Joke. Okay.
I used to like the one about the tow truck, where the guy with the tow truck would go around and pick up cars.
Lizard Lick Towing?
Lizard Lick, yes. Lizard Lick Towing. Truly ridiculous.
I actually watched True TV.
No. It was a guilty pleasure for a little while there.
Max, we got to get you out, boy.
These two yo-yos. Does it justify anything if North Carolina wins tonight?
No. I mean, I've never felt strongly both ways about something. I had them definitely in, and I had them definitely. I mean, it's just crazy. Now listen, the beating up on the it's an easy target, the North Carolina AD, just the dog and pony show about putting him. Just say it. I mean, what is the worst quad one record to win? To get an at-large berth. I mean, can it not ask is that not? Everybody knows it. It's 1 in 12. You created this quadrant system. I mean, has there ever been? I mean, we ask if they got a 67 NET, we're going to ask them, or RPI back in the day. Right. Are we not?
Yes.
What's wrong with asking that question? Okay, there were just two different guys. One guy was white, one guy was black. All right. The white guy was the NC. The other guy was a co-chair or something or whatever. And so he was fielding all the questions about North Carolina when CBS was asking him. Okay, dude, could you talk about the 1 in 12, getting in despite a 1 in 12, quad one record? What's second worst? Because it's got to be worst. It has to be to get it at large.
I'm sure it's of teams that have gotten more than. I mean, there have been teams that haven't. No, I can't even say. I was going to say there have been teams that haven't had a Q1 win that get in the tournament, but those are all automatic qualifiers. So no.
How many times we see the team that's not supposed to get in win a couple of games? Often,
yeah.
Enough.
And does that prove that they should have been in?
No,
or if they lose it, they should have been out.
What's part of playing the first four? I mean, it's you got your jitters in that first game. Why has there never been a year where one of the first fours didn't win against that 6 seed? Because you're getting in rhythm, you're getting those jitters off your back, the sterile type of environment. I think it's something to be said with we're lucky to be here. Let's roll.
Absolutely.
Play with the house's money. How many times and how many? No, it does. Charlie, they're good enough to be in a tournament to be respectable, but they're not deserving.
And that's my point. Even if they win tonight, even if they win on Friday, it still doesn't take away from this. And if they lose, it doesn't prove, well, they shouldn't have been in. I hate when they get in the prediction business. That's why some of these metrics, these predictable metrics, no, it should never be on what they think you're going to do. It should be on what you have done, what you know versus what you think.
So here's the but do we apply the same philosophy and stance when it's the football tournament? When to say, hey man, no, this team is going to be able to play. For instance, Alabama got in ahead of Florida State. Mm-hmm. They gave Michigan way more of a game than Florida State. I mean, 99% sure, right?
And extenuating circumstances because Daniels was out.
Yeah, the quarterback's down. Yeah, I mean, and we saw a couple of games.
Jordan Travis.
We saw a couple of quarter games with the backup. Okay,
right.
But does that make it right? But I mean, somewhere along the way, the football became the best teams, right?
Well, if who was the top SEC team not to make it? Was who? Was it Alabama? Was the highest ranked team that didn't make it?
It was Alabama, Ole Miss, and they're all jumbled together.
Okay. The three of them
all jumbled together.
Would have all been favored against SMU.
Oh yeah,
would have all been.
SMU's an automatic. No, it's not. It's not. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes.
So that was more of a deserving than what we think. We think that Ole Miss would have beaten SMU, but we don't know that.
No. I'm with you on that one. But here's the thing. So North Carolina gets in because they're as blue blood as it gets. They are going to generate some ratings, right? Okay. The Big West, or is the West Coast? I'm getting good with UC San Diego and Irvine. It's a Big West.
Big West. Yeah.
Okay. The Big West. If the Tritons lose, UC San Diego loses. It's a pretty big argument between UC San Diego and North Carolina, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we've been following so far. Mm-hmm. All right. Guess what? Every sports book, because handle and ratings are correlated. Man, almost every time. Troy Macker said yesterday, the number one public team of the 64 games we got. I mean, of the 32 games we got, or 36, I guess, is Michigan's number one, and UC San Diego's the number two bet team. They're betting that game like crazy. Every other, they said it's unbelievable. We get action. We get a great two-way action on all this. So aren't eyeballs going to go watch this obscure team? They're betting on them.
If
the handle is always correlated with a viewership, and so that's kind of funny. We would have maybe chosen North Carolina when, in fact, you might have just as many eyeballs, or a big chunk of eyeballs, even more, maybe a little less, but a considerable amount of eyeballs are going to be on Michigan, UC San Diego.
And that UC San Diego team's net is the same as North Carolina. They're 35 and 36. They're basically on top of each other. So you don't even have the net is supposed to equalize a little bit of the conference, how you comparing apples to oranges here, the ACC, or what the ACC used to be, versus the Big West. It's supposed that NET is supposed to equalize that a little bit. If it did its job, these two teams are basically the same. So we'll see. You like North Carolina tonight? with all that said,
it's with 4.5
4.5 points.
Favorites.
Yeah,
nobody's complaining about San Diego State getting in. But.
All right, here's the deal about San Diego State. This is by far their worst team in a while. By far, this is not a good team. I mean, they had one game where they were down to Utah State at home. Might have knocked them out the tournament. They ended on a 10-1 run. They made 0 field goals. Everything was fouls and foul shots. It's great. It's a great tempo battle. We got a bunch of these, including the Tritons in Michigan. That's a size battle, but I mean, you got teams that want to run, and teams that don't. Now, for Robert Morris, they like to run. Okay, that's kind of playing in Alabama's hands. But this is North Carolina wants to run. And San Diego State, they're going to want to grind it and muck it up. But they're just not that good. They're not that good. Here's one for you, the Mountain West Conference. The last 22 games, they were a favorite. They were a double-digit seed. 0-22.
Can you get a money line? Can you get a money line bet?
0-22.
Yeah.
4.5 is a very high number for the play-in game. It's a very high number. This thing is usually 1.5, 2, 2.5 at the max. 4.5. North Carolina is getting bet. They're getting bet. And San Diego State, to me, here's to bet against teams playing against each other. So,
yeah, San Diego State was a much harder to me to swallow than North Carolina was. What San Diego State had going for them was a really good non-conference schedule that included a win over Houston. That ended up being the difference.
Boy, that's hard, but that is that is almost impossible right now.
That was way back in November, but
it counts.
It does.
Probably got them in.
It counts. They've got 3 quad 1 wins. It's not like it's an overwhelm. Their net is down in the mid 50s.
San Diego State on Thursday night in the Mountain West Conference against Boise State. Boise State's on the bubble, and they needed a win. And San Diego State got every break. They're up like 10-12. Give up a little run before half, and they don't even come close to winning. I mean, lost, I think, by double digits in that game on Thursday night to Boise State. I'm just not they're just not that good.
No.
They're not,
And we haven't seen anything lately. Not that should matter. All the games count the same. They did lose that game by 10. The best win they've got in the last 6 weeks is a win against New Mexico, who's a good team, but that's it. The rest
neutral or at home.
It was at home. They won that game by 8. That's the only team that they have beaten since Boise State. They beat Boise State back in the middle of February, I guess would be a decent win. The rest of these games there are a lot of wins over the Air Forces and San Jose States and Nevadas of the world.
Matt Humans, who joins us every Thursday, and a friend of mine who, before he was doing, sports gambling radio, would, his beat writer, he writes for the New York Post and Las Vegas Review Journal. He was a beat writer for San Diego State. So he's been to a lot of Mountain West Conference games, and he views the Mountain West Conference this year. And what was it not too long ago? They got like 5 or 6 teams in. They got 4 in here. Colorado State got in. He said it's a conference to fade. It's just not a strong conference. Now, don't get in the way of Colorado State. Are they going to maintain this level of play? Not just in the tournament, but in the less into the regular season. They have just seen. You want to talk about just crush people. It's funny. I don't know if they were a favorite in their last 3 games, the quarters, the semis, and the finals in the Mountain West Conference tournament, but they're favored in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, they haven't won a game by less than 8 in over a month since the last time they lost.
How many games is that? 10?
13.
Oh.
13.
Oh. Yeah, and that's a 13-game winning streak?
Hang on, let me make sure. 3,
well, yeah,
6,
if you're saying
7, 8, 9, 10. No, I'm sorry, I missed one. It is 10. It's 10, and it's 14 out of 15. 10 straight and 14 out of 15.
All by at least 8.
All the 10 straight are all by at least 8. All by at least 8.
Since 2016,
sizzling, baby.
The Mountain West 10-23 against the spread in the tournament.
10-23 against the spread
record.
Yeah.
3-31 straight up are double-digit seeds for the Mountain West. So New Mexico is one of those. There's a really tough record for.
Well, all 4 double-digit seeds this year.
So
yeah,
3-31 all time.
I think they'll get 1, maybe 2. I think the conference that's a fun thing too. The conference over/unders win totals.
Yeah.
I think the SEC is 20.5. So I think theirs is 2.5. And this counts on these. These play-ins do count. So we're live here at Dozy Place, man. Seeing Mr. Scott over here when we come on in. Great stuff over here. And look, we've got some, if you're over here on a Friday and you still want to come by and, you have some friends that want to, do the Lenten thing, we got it for you. We got fresh tuna. We do the shrimp. We do a grilled shrimp a grilled shrimp salad, the fried shrimp or fried oysters. We get oysters with po' boys that we do over here as well. Some great stuff that we have over here, some seafood options. But, of course, our steaks, man, during dinner time are the way to roll. Everybody starts off with the tamales appetizer for the table to share. But, hey, we got a whole different menu for lunch over here, and different sandwiches and burgers and chicken sandwiches, grilled, blackened, Nashville hot, spicy that we do with different aiolis, cheeses, toppings, the grilled onions, whatever it is. So you kind of build your own chicken sandwich, burger, or sandwich over here at Doe's as well. Plate lunch is enough for two to share, like the meatballs and spaghetti, the chicken fried steak. Charlie, I said it was big as your head. I think it's big as Max's head.
Max's head?
Maybe,
Okay.
no, maybe, you know what? Steinley's head.
Oh, wow. That's big. That's big. Look out, man.
So anyway, you have seen it, huh?
Seven
it
and
is
7/8.
it is legit size. It is legit size over here at Dozy Place with the mashed potatoes, hand cut fries, man. That come with the burgers and sandwiches are really, really good over here at Dozy Place. So for lunch, a whole different. Max, what you get? You get that catfish plate, right?
I've gotten that during Lent. I get the spicy chickens. Probably when we get the Nashville hot today. So
there you go.
All kind of stuff.
All at Dozy Place on Government Street in the heart of Mid-City.
Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
With conference championships around the corner, now's the time to register for the Dos Million Bracket Challenge only at Twin Peaks. Sign up today at TwinPeaksBracketChallenge.com. Then fill out your bracket before the tournament tips off on March 20th. Enter for a chance to win $2 million and more epic prizes, including a $50 gift card to the top bracket from every lodge. Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft beer, eats, drinks, scenic views.
The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lagniappe on Perkins and Blue Bonnet. Winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbom, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee, and Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street to now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Hey guys, this is former Major League Baseball player and avid deer hunter David DeLucci. There's nothing better than spending time in the woods, making memories at the camp, and enjoying the land. If you're like me and dream of owning your own hunting property, remember the name First South Farm Credit. They've been financing rural land for over 100 years. It's just what they do. When you're in the market for land, make First South your first call. Stop by or find them online at firstsouthland.com.
Injuries don't wait for office hours. Neither does Brock. Our after-hours clinic is open nights and weekends, 7 days a week for breaks, sprains, and strains. Walk in anytime. Learn more at brortho.com. brortho.com.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
If you live in Louisiana, you know what the dozens of plants up and down the river mean for our state's economy. And since 1982, Action Industries has been committed to providing quality construction, maintenance, operational, and consulting services throughout the refinery and petrochemical industries. When it comes to safety and quality, Action Industries beats the industry standard. Call today or visit actionindinc.com. That's actionindinc.com.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crowntown Room at Dozy Place. The Crowntown Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Get ready
City, Baton Rouge, the Taste of Mid-City, Baton Rouge's premier benefit food festival is back for 2025, March 30th. Presented by Franklin Associates and the Executive Center. It's delicious food, live music, and great fun while raising vital funds for Kids Orchestra. Serving over 1,400 kids, build life skills through music. Tickets on sale now, along with limited edition t-shirts. Don't miss out on Baton Rouge's favorite food festival, Taste of Mid-City, March 30th. More info at tasteofmidcitybr.com.
Jake and James of Trash Rangers. How does $13.95 a month for residential trash pickup sound to you? Go to trashrangers.com for all the info and make the switch today. That's trashrangers.com.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
121-1674. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Remember, the show is available on demand, LouisianaSports.net, 104.5 ESPN.com, Hannycast on YouTube. Brief break from basketball here for just a second. The day the tournament starts. I've been kind of waiting on this one. I'm just glad somebody finally came out and said it. We've wondered about Aaron Rodgers and the culture fit he would be somewhere like Pittsburgh, who is waiting on an answer apparently from him, or Minnesota, who is waiting on an answer from him. Cam Haywood, who I've always liked as a player, stood up today and said, I ain't doing the darkness retreat. I don't need any of that crap. Either you want to be a Steel or you don't. It's that simple. That's the pitch. You want me to recruit? That's my recruiting pitch. Pittsburgh Steelers. You want to be a part of it? So be it. If you don't, no skin off my back. And DK Metcalf came in right behind him. I'm tired of talking about the quarterback situation. He's been there a week, okay? I'm tired of talking about the quarterback situation. I'd rather have it done. I'm ready to move on in free agency. There's too much going on.
Sometimes it takes people that just don't see through this. It is universal. It is, it's us. But it's a lot of. We call this guy and he's trying to create some drama on the way out, having these teams dangle in the wind a little bit, and he's got to provide us with this picture of him, on the beach. Man, kiss my ass, dude. Everybody's so tired of your act, man.
And it takes somebody like Cam Haywood, who's been in the league for 15 years, to say, "Hey, you know what? I don't want any part of this." Okay?
But this is.
I'm not going around.
No,
with
that's not the Steelers' culture.
No, it's not.
And this is why they can. Mike Tomlin can have some flaws and maybe some game management, clock management, things like that, because the culture that's he fits right in. And it's those intangibles that you just can't prove. You can't record or numeralize. But man, I've never seen one where everybody sees through this guy's stuff, and everybody is tired of it, man.
Yeah, the only one I can think that
because his stats were terrible last year.
No, they were okay. I'm tired of this. The only one that comes close to me is Brett Favre, who did a lot of this similar stuff. No, it wasn't this bad. He didn't do the darkness retreats and all that. He just kept people dangling while he was, mowing grass in Mississippi. He would get on his ride lawnmower and they would go, Ed Werder's out there going, Brett Favre is out mowing the grass today.
But that's not Favre generating it. It's correct. The media. Okay. Now, was he taking his time, and was it one of those summer stories that just wouldn't,
I'm in, I'm out, I'm out.
Well,
but not to this extent.
No, this guy goes out of his way to try, the McAfee appearances. Can you just go on a beach without publicizing it? Can you go on your darkness retreat without publicizing it? It's just so weak, man. And have you ever? Here's the deal: has there ever been a quarterback, a successful Hall of Fame quarterback, that we hated this much personally? Think about it.
Oh.
Your quarterbacks, it might be a rival team, or you hate Brady if you're, something like that.
Right.
But if you ever think about it, we love the great quarterbacks. We love them. They're very popular. They get too much credit when they win, okay? But still, if you win, Montana, Staubach, Bradshaw. Forget Bradshaw is the tail end of his broadcast career, whatever. I mean, all the. Come on, Charlie.
No, I hated Montana because he beat the hell out of the Saints. Not
because
he was a
you're
bad
rival
guy.
team.
Yeah, I didn't like getting beat all that
But
often.
this guy is.
No, you're right. I can't.
Even like I like Warren Moon, Jim Kelly. I mean, I love these guys. This guy's such a turd.
If I were the Steelers, this would be a no-brainer. I'd bring Russell Wilson back before I go get Aaron Rodgers.
I told you when he wanted to host Jeopardy. I told you I'm not. I hate to go out to, but when you got the answers, of course you look smart. Come on.
If he'd have gotten that job, he'd have retired 2 years ago.
Oh, there's no doubt.
He'd have been done. Cam Hayward. If I didn't have some other stuff already planned for first class today, I would have given it to Cam Hayward.
I love that.
He finally said what everybody else was thinking, which was, fish or cut bait.
That's a guy we're pulling against hard. Hester played against him.
Yeah. When
Dixon played against him.
Yeah.
He was in that Ohio State. He was a star on that Ohio State
team. Freshman. On that
freshman?
team. He was a
Ironhead's kid.
Freshman starter, yeah.
Ironhead's kid.
And he's been a really, really good player for a long time in the NFL.
How many?
This is his 15th season coming up. He suggested it will probably be his last. Yeah.
Put your first class aside. That guy gets it. Come on, Charlie.
First class, right there.
Cam
Hayward.
K&M Automotive on Segan Lane, the only place. Speaking of first class, my buddy Jason Payne. And when we need work done on our vehicle, we just want an honest deal. We've heard those horror stories of getting rung up for unnecessary work. What? You paid what for what? No, it doesn't have to be that way. Charlie can attest as well. Trying to find a less costly repair option than a replace. But you need to replace. He's not going to let you drive a vehicle unsafely. So go by and check him out. 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday at K&M Automotive on Segan and Perkins across from Ambrosia Bakery. The only place I take my vehicle.
Live at Doe's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Let the great staff at the Thibodeau store help you out as you get your yard, your garden, your flower beds up to speed here as the spring approaches. First day of spring, March the 20th, later this week. So right now on the website, the 4-step simple program from Scott's to resod your lawn, those are on special right now. Your Shots turf builders are on special right now. Garden hoses, lawn tools, garden tools, wheelbarrows, spreaders, and seeders, potting soil, all on special right now, plus a lot of outdoor equipment at the website, ThibodeauStore.com. A lot of these items are available for delivery, as is their Cajun cookware, especially cookware shipped right to your door. Check it out at ThibodeauStore.com. Also, a large selection of grills and the Big Green Egg Cooker for the ultimate cooking experience. On site, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux, where you can also get a lot of fishing gear if you're heading down to the coast. Thibodaux Store. Online, it's ThibodeauStore.com.
Start living life to the fullest. Join all of our patients who have transformed their smile in just one day at the Fusion Implant Center. Hi, this is Dr. Leo Reagan.
And I'm Dr. Michael Casadaband. Dentists from all over Louisiana are referring their patients to the Fusion Implant Center, where we specialize in treating missing teeth and creating that perfect smile in just one day.
Dentists recommend Fusion Implant Center because our board-certified doctors ensure that every procedure is done correctly, painlessly, and cost-effectively in our state-of-the-art facility.
The Fusion Implant Center is the only facility in Louisiana equipped with a team of experts where no procedure is too complex. So if you have failing teeth and want to eliminate dentures completely, ask your dentist about the Fusion Implant Center.
Make today the day you change your smile forever. Call us or visit FusionImplantCenter.com. Remember, one moment can change a day, and one day can change your life. Your perfect smile starts at the Fusion Implant Center.
Take a swing around the parish to one of Breck's 5 golf courses, 2 championship courses, Santa Maria and Beaver Creek, and 3 courses for the more casual golfers, the popular 18-hole Webb Park, and 2 9-hole courses, City Park and the newly renovated J.S. Clark. Breck's courses are designed to challenge every level of golfer, from beginner to pro. So come and get into the swing of things. Book your tee time online or find a course near you at golf.breck.org. That's golf.breck.org.
This is Charles Haniger for Total Maintenance. Now is the time to get your AC cleaned and checked before those sweltering temperatures arrive. Ensure your unit is performing at max efficiency, lower your monthly bills, and prolong the life of your central air conditioner. Right now, mention my name or Jimmy Ott and get $100 off that service. down from $179 to $79. Call Total Maintenance for generators, electricity, and plumbing issues. In Baton Rouge, 480-1000, and in New Orleans, call 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Brandon Holly here. Did you know Relief Windows is the window, door, hardy plank, and vinyl siding and interior shutter headquarters of the Gulf South? That's right. For nearly 20 years, we have provided you with a lifetime guarantee. Relief from the heat, cold, storms, and sun. So go where thousands have gone to upgrade the exterior and the interior of their homes. ReliefWindows.com. That's ReliefWindows.com.
Your business's curb appeal matters, so let Cajun Soft Wash help you make a great first impression. Their expert soft washing safely cleans storefronts, parking lots, and commercial buildings, removing dirt, algae, and grime. Trust Cajun Soft Wash. Certified, insured, and locally owned. Schedule your cleaning today at CajunSoftWash.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Turnaround services, specialty welding, Action Industries, innovation in action.
Heading out to Las Vegas, deep in the desert, lives one man. One man of many sports bets. The one and only Andy Isco.
Big Andy, it's March Madness time, brother. How you doing, man?
I am doing great. This is one of my favorite times of the year. It's probably one of my, let's say, somewhere in the top 5 of all the events of the year. It's nice. The unfortunate thing is it goes so quickly. By the time we're talking next Tuesday night, 75% of the field will have been eliminated.
All right, we don't have time to go through all the games, so tell me the matchups, and even if it's not from a betting perspective, that you're really pleased with, you're intrigued with. The biggest thing, first of all, right off the shoot, Andy, is that the odds makers are usually have a difference of opinion of the committee with the seedings. Not this year, only one. Red hot Colorado State, winners of 10 in a row by at least 8 or more. And, man, they rolled through the Mountain West Conference tournament. They're the only lower-seeded team favored over a higher one.
Yeah, and I can understand that. Colorado State's had a really good season. You asked about intriguing matchups. I wouldn't be surprised if the winner of the VCU-BYU game ends up beating most likely Wisconsin in the second round, because I think that those are two very, very good teams that sort of under the radar because of other teams in the conference that have gotten more notoriety. I'm intrigued about tonight's game between San Diego State and North Carolina. I'm leaning towards, I haven't made a play yet, but I am leaning towards San Diego State. You go back and take, when I look at these tournament matchups, I often go back, and of course it's been several months, but I'd like to see how they've done in the non-conference play as far as the teams they've played and how they fared against those teams. And San Diego State has a couple of nice neutral court wins so far this year. They defeated Creighton earlier in the year. I think that was in November, and I think they at the end of December they defeated Houston here in Las Vegas. So I think that shows that they are capable of playing against elite or highly seeded teams as far as that goes. And North Carolina, the thing that a lot of people will take a look at, they'll say the line is a little short, and it generally is for North Carolina. We know about their poor record against the quality teams that they've faced. But even going in the Atlantic Coast Conference, this was a down conference this year for the most part. Yeah, Louisville was nice, and Clemson was a nice story, but beyond that, there really wasn't much to get excited about. So even the fact that North Carolina plays in the ACC, it's not the same ACC they were used to, and that's validated by the lack of bids that they received in the tournament. So I am taking a look at the San Diego State in that matchup. Another one that I've looked at, I like a lot of the numbers from High Point getting against Purdue. I don't expect them to pull the upset, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a close game. I might consider that one for a play in the first half before Purdue wears them down. And that's sometimes you look for. When you look for big underdogs, I try to look for teams that figure to be competitive enough in the first half, but they just don't have enough guys to play the full 40 minutes to go up against the more talented, stronger teams. So, they give them a good 20 minutes, and then reality sets in about 8 minutes into the second half. So those are the ones that initially jumped out to me.
Purdue, man, just limping down the stretch. I mean, what is this? 5, 6, 3-6. Coming down the stretch. So I mean, and a lot of them were not really close. So only home wins in that run against UCLA and Rutgers in neutral site in the tournament against USC. But they have been a I don't know, man. It looks like they are in their defense. Man, their defensive metrics are awful this year. What about boy, great matchup, size and boy, the UC San Diego, big market team. I mean, Michigan goes through the Big Ten tournament and wins it, coming from behind in the Maryland and Wisconsin games, to finish it off against some hotter teams like Michigan State and some others. So, but and then UC San Diego, who they turned the ball, man, they good at turning the ball over. They better before they let those 2 7-footers set up. Now they did face a 7-footer in the Big West Conference Tournament final on Saturday nights. UC Irvine had a 7-1 guy and really had his way for most of the first half and early into the second half before the Tritons kind of came alive.
Yeah, and in fact, I'm going to just go back to that San Diego State North Carolina game for a moment because I would not be surprised if the winner of that game, whether it be the Aztecs or the Tar Heels, wouldn't be surprised if they survive the first weekend. I think they're capable of beating Mississippi, and again, Iowa State's going to be shorthanded once they get by Lipscomb. So that's one of those. But yeah, I'm looking to play UC San Diego. They do have a lot of really good numbers. Michigan, they still struggle down the stretch, and even their wins in the other than the win over Purdue, they in the tournament, they didn't look all that sharp. They sort of, I mean, they didn't get blown out in the second half like they had at the last 2 weeks of the season, but they could be vulnerable to a San Diego team that a lot of people haven't heard of. In fact, San Diego State, another one of the wins that looks a lot better now, was opening the season against UC San Diego with a win. So that's another game that I look at. And I think one of the more intriguing games is in that same region. It's a 9-8 matchup. Creighton and Louisville figures to be a very entertaining game between two teams that have had really good seasons. I don't know that either of them can knock off Auburn, although, look, the way Auburn has played over the last few weeks, they have to be having some thoughts in their mind, and certainly the opponents have to realize that after the great season they've had, Auburn has been vulnerable, and I was honestly surprised that they still ended up with a number one overall seed.
We can present point counterpoint on seeding, criticizing it or justifying it by the committee, but there's no defending this one. You cannot have the number one overall seed or any number one seed playing in opposing territory. Louisville's playing in Rupp Arena, which is about an hour and 15-minute drive away. It's in Kentucky. I mean, that is a clear advantage. Now, Auburn, they've been traveling with their basketball fans a little bit, more recently, and they will travel here too. But it's just dumb, and it's not deserving. Now, the other thing, as far as Louisville's concerned, they don't deserve an 8 seed. I mean, come on, man. I don't have to give the rankings, but this is the highest ranked team to be 8 seed or lower ever. Yeah. They're top 10 team in the rankings.
And it's 24 net too.
They lost. They finished one game out of the ACC championship to Duke. If North Carolina holds on to that lead that last Saturday night of the regular season, they're co-champions. They're one game out of Duke, and Duke's the second overall seed, and Louisville is an 8.
Well, the only thing that Louisville may have going for it is that they do draw Auburn, and given Auburn's recent play, they could be a vulnerable number one seed. But Louisville has to get by Creighton first. But that's terrible. That number one, they made them an 8 seed. Number two, they made them going up against the number one overall seed. If you want to seed, I like to avoid playing those 9-8 games. The historical seeding results mean nothing because they're basically the same path through the tournament. But I like taking a look for like 7 seeds to have some good success when they go through their brackets before I would play an 8 or a 9. Obviously, the 8 or the 9 is going to be a bigger underdog, but that one was the most egregious seeding, as well as forcing Louisville to be playing where they're playing, or Creighton playing where they're playing.
A fun matchup in styles as well, and that's always fun to battle a tempo. Drake and Missouri. Missouri wants to get up and down, and Drake.
I like Drake.
That Kentucky, Charlie, is that another team that's kind of fading, like Purdue in the end? It sure looks like maybe those injuries have finally taken its toll on that roster over the course of the season. We know about Willie Wade going against his alma mater in Clemson there. I think McNeese State will be less wide-eyed and be way more competitive this year. Once Gonzaga hit him with something earlier, it was really no type of contest there. Yale's a regular participant here. How about this?
They beat Auburn last year.
Well, I know that, but they played LSU close. They won another game about 7-8 years ago. Then the last 10 years, Yale had multiple trips to the tournament where they won a game and then been competitive in other games. I think they lost by 5 to LSU that game. There was one game they were blasted in that one, but Yale and the guy who scored 28 against Auburn last year, he's back. 3 years in a row, he shot 40% or better from 3-point range. They have. It's not a typical non-athletic Ivy League roster with the Bulldogs.
No, and I'm considering that one against A&M. Although A&M, I liked them a lot back in early February. Then they fell out of favor with me, and then they sort of started to play better late. But I do like Drake. I think they've got a real good chance of pulling the upset against Missouri, who has been brilliant at home, but they struggled mightily when they got away from Columbia. So Drake is a team. They've got, I think they're one of the 2 teams along with Houston with 25 wins each of the last 5 years, and making a third straight appearance in the tournament. I like what I've seen out of this Drake team, especially defensively, because they can frustrate a team like Missouri.
And if the seeds hold, a great battle of tempos in the second round would be St. Mary's in Alabama. I mean, these are. I mean, nobody's faster than Bama, and St. Mary's is nobody's more deliberate and frustrating. And does St. Mary's, Andy, ever lose the battle of tempo? I mean, they are committed. They're disciplined. They're not going to stray away from that half-court tempo.
I do like St. Mary's in that game against Vanderbilt, although Vanderbilt is a better team, I think, than a lot of people realize. But I do like St. Mary's. The most intriguing sub-regional right now is the one in Providence with Arkansas, Kansas, St. John's, and Omaha. You got 3 coaches who have won championships. I'm going to find out a little bit more about Kansas this week. I'm down on Kansas, and I'll probably end up playing Arkansas in the game. I wish St. John's had a little bit of a better draw, because I do think this team is for real. They have a lot of rebounding ability, which is, of course, a very strong factor that I like. And today is the day that I really analyze all the data that I spent all day yesterday assembling. So I don't have a lot of more definitive opinions, but those were the ones that jumped off the page to me when I first saw them.
All right, Andy, good job. We appreciate it, buddy. We will be back next week to kind of look back at the first round and peek toward the Sweet 16 matchups. Follow Andy on Twitter at VegasAndy711. Good luck to you, Andy, this weekend.
Good luck to guys. Too bad you're not here in Vegas for the great parties they have.
Yes, indeed. Don't forget our friends over at Total Maintenance. Total Maintenance, I mean, again, weather, excellent. But this is the time to take advantage of that one-time AC check. It's going to clean that system, make sure it's running efficiently, make sure that your bills are as low as possible. And it's going to lower your monthly bills. It's going to, we'll be able to identify if a part or two is failing, so that will avoid a more costly, more inconvenient break later in the summer months. So before we really stress the units, these are the time to get that one-time AC check. Just $79 if you mention 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Me, Charlie. Normally $179. Normally $179. You're saving $100. It's just $79. Our buddies Lucas Ferguson, a great staff over at Total Maintenance. They have offices in staffs in both New Orleans and Baton Rouge. 480-1000. 480-1000 in Baton Rouge is the number. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC heating companies since 1980. Total Maintenance, 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
Live at Doe's, live at lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
If you're looking for some time away, but you don't want to go too far, the Cook Hotel at LSU is just what you've been searching for. Book your getaway today and enjoy a beautiful escape in any of their luxurious guest rooms or suites overlooking the gorgeous LSU lakes. Whether you're here to shop or stay, the Cook Hotel at LSU is where you can find it all. Stay for the weekend, come by, grab lunch, or shop at their alumni gift shop. Visit thecookhotel.com to book your stay today. That's thecookhotel.com.
Enjoy the convenience of Genesis Service Valet, an ownership benefit that allows you to have your vehicle serviced without leaving your home or office. The valet will pick up your vehicle for maintenance and return it once it's done. Additionally, if required, the valet can provide a loaner or transport you to and from the retailer. Service Valet is available for 3 years or 36,000 miles with a purchase of a new Genesis. Visit GenesisOfBatonRouge.com today to explore our lineup and schedule your test drive. Luxury awaits. Genesis of Baton Rouge on Airline across from Women's Hospital.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge is your new home for the New Orleans Pelicans.
Hey, dunks it! Oh my heavens!
Our Pelicans coverage is presented locally by Industry Makes. Visit 1045ESPN.com for a complete list of games you'll hear on 104.5 FM, 104.9 FM, and 98.1 HD2. Listen to the New Orleans Pelicans on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, presented by Industry Makes. Let others make noise. We'll make everything else.
Hey, do you love beef? I mean premium Angus beef. Sagrera Farm sells the whole sides and quarters straight from the farm, ready to fill your freezer with tender, flavorful ribeyes, fillets, strips, brisket, ground beef, and a lot more. I want to introduce you to Louisiana's own Sean Sagrera of Sagrera Farms, a hidden gem just 30 minutes north of Baton Rouge. What's Sean's secret? Mating genetically superior Angus cattle and then ensuring that every day in the life of his cattle is a great one. Happy, healthy cattle, finished on grain, dry-aged, 45 days, creates consistent and predictable, flavorful beef. When you take a bite of Sagrera Farms beef, you'll know that this is not some mass-produced afterthought. So if you want the best, and I mean the best in Angus beef, go online to sagrerafarms.com, or better yet, call Sean right now at 225-719-1723. Sagrera Farms.
Are you struggling to lose weight or your hormones out of balance? Rejuve Me Medical offers personalized treatments, including semaglutide and hormone replacement therapy. Transform your body and your life at RejuveMeMedical.com. That's RejuveMe Medical.com.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
For service you can feel, you gotta call Capital City Comfort.
Spring is here, and the experts at Capital City Comfort want to guarantee your comfort with a new energy-efficient Rheem HVAC system. This spring, take advantage of special financing and expert installation on all new units.
For service you can feel, you gotta call Capital City Comfort.
Visit capitalcitycomfort-br.com.
Jake and James, the Trash Rangers. Do you need one more reason to switch your residential trash pickup? How about $13.95 a month for the first few months? Go to trashrangers.com and make the switch today.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
AP All-American team is out. Janai Broom and Cooper Flagg, both unanimous selections to the first team. Mark Sears from Alabama, Walter Clayton Jr. from Florida, and Braden Smith from Purdue round out the
Clayton made
All-American.
it.
Yeah,
First team. Wow.
Yep. So the Flagg and Broom were unanimous, the two unanimous first team picks.
And the guard, Smith from Purdue, you said?
Braden Smith from Purdue. The second team, let's see, PJ Haggerty from Memphis, Tonga from Wisconsin, JT Toppin from Texas Tech, along with Cam Jones from Marquette, and RJ Luis from St. Johns.
Hey, your boy, Tanji, man. 0-9. I don't know what he finished, but it was pretty deep in the game on Sunday against Michigan. Yeah.
It was a tough thing. You were bringing up that match of tempos. I kind of got a chuckle out of it. St. Mary's does end up playing Alabama.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, we're 35. I see the irony in that the greatest disparity in tempo I've ever seen in a college basketball game was in Alabama play Loyola Marymount 35 years ago.
Yeah.
And, just passing up layups because they didn't want to get into tempo, and they forced that, shot every 6 seconds, 7 seconds Marymount team to a 64-62 win. So now I think it was 62-60, whatever it was. Now 30? It's the other way. Alabama's the heavy tempo.
Well, our team in LSU got caught up in Louisville's pace. We're up 6 at half in Dallas in the Final Four against Louisville, eventual national champion. But we didn't have our legs playing their pace that long, and we just gave up. Just wore down in the second half. Got some other matchups that are really good that they're going to just roll both teams.
Hour number 2 straight ahead here from Doe's Eat Place, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Ever ask a friend questions about their new pool and they don't know the answers? That means one thing. They didn't use Duplessis Builders. Duplessis Builders has a showroom, personal consultations, and they've literally written the book on building pools. That book is available for you to download for free at DuplessisBuilders.net. Every question, option, what to ask potential pool builders. Everything you need to know about building your dream pool and more is at DuplessisBuilders.net. Click the tab Our Book. That's DuplessisBuilders.net.
When we started GMFS Mortgage here in Baton Rouge 26 years ago, do you know where we wanted our headquarters to be? Here's the hint. We've never moved. That's right. We started in Baton Rouge. Our loans are originated, processed, and underwritten in Baton Rouge. Every step of the mortgage process happens here in Baton Rouge. So when you're ready to buy, build, renovate, or refinance, please check out GMFSmortgage.com and choose GMFS Mortgage of Baton Rouge. We are your local lender.
NMLS number 64997 is an equal housing lender. Mortgages originated at 7389 Florida Boulevard, Suite 200A, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 70806.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them.
You guys ready? Okay, good. Thanks.
The only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Keep your golf game sharp in the comfort of your own backyard with Louisiana Turf Company. Our greens look great, roll great, and react great. Don't be fooled by the competition trying to sell you some glorified boat carpet. Trust the pros and golf experts at LouisianaTurf.com. That's LouisianaTurf.com.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch, first class.
I want a seat in first class where I was booked and ticketed over a month ago.
Second class.
No man should be subjected to the indignity of being labeled or treated like a second-class citizen.
And no class.
Life had become like school on Sunday. No class. I'll tell you what then. Why don't you call me sometime when you have no class?
First class, second class, and no class. Brought to you by Supreme Rice. Buy local with Louisiana-based Supreme Rice since 1936.
We welcome you back to Doe's Eat Place on Government Street here in Mid-City. We're in the Crown Town Room as we are when we come here. Come by and see us for lunch. Got some Lenten options for you here during the season, but great steak as always here at Doe's Eat Place. All right, first class. As just about everybody I'm sure knows, we lost Miss Sandy Bertman late last week. Passed away. 63 years married to LSU Skip Bertman. After the game on Friday night, Jay Johnson, who the coaches gather the team afterwards, and he does a magic moment, kind of a star of the game type thing. This was Jay Johnson after the game last Friday night. Jordan.
Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm not giving anybody a lineup card today, okay? I'm sure you figured out.
All right, we're having a
computer freezing.
I'm sorry, the computer went kaplooey back in the studio. So let me see if I can do this. Instead of awarding a star of the game, Jay Johnson took the lineup card. All of the guys are going to sign it. They're going to present it in a card to Skip. He did a better job of it. Damn computer. It was pretty heartfelt, and I'm doing a lousy job of describing it. I was hoping to be able to play that, and the computer just froze up, so nothing I can do about that. But it was a very classy gesture by Jay Johnson, and one that I'm sure that Skip will appreciate, and the family will appreciate. Miss Sandy Bertman's funeral is tomorrow morning. The other part of first class that I wanted to do this week was
Coach Bertman's wife.
Do we have it or not? Is the computer working or not?
It's just jumping in and out.
All right, okay. I'm gonna move on. Well, maybe we'll play it for the end of the show. We can get the computer fixed. The other one I want to do, Jimmy. This is in your time growing up. We lost Slick Watts last week. The former guard at Xavier of New Orleans, and also played briefly for the Jazz, but he made his real name in the NBA with the Seattle Supersonics. Slick Watts, in the early 70s, when he was playing for Xavier, they drew national attention, which for an NIA basketball team is not easy. They went on a win streak that spanned basically almost as long as UCLA's at the time. They made the NIA national semifinals, the NIA Final Four twice. They did it in 1972 and again in 1973, and Watts was instrumental in that. Then he didn't get drafted in the NBA, but through his coach, Bob Hopkins, of the Seattle general manager, signed him. Not only did Watts make the Supersonics, but he became a very, very good player for them and a beloved player up in Seattle. He was all NBA defensive first team. He led the league in assists and steals in the same season, which is pretty difficult to do. And Watts later became a school teacher. He was an elementary school teacher for 20 years after his retirement. Every time they do one of these Seattle reunions for the old Supersonics, Watts was always one of the most popular players. Jimmy, you actually got to see him play in person when he was with the Jazz.
Came over from the Sonics, and I also saw him. What year was it? I think Lester Earl was playing for Kansas. Kansas
that
was
would have been about
Kentucky.
98.
Wally Zerbiak was with Miami, Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
His son was playing for Washington.
Okay.
And he was, I'm almost positive they played Zerbiak in Miami, Ohio in the first round down in New Orleans. And so he was in the crowd. But no, man, slick with the ball head and that signature headband, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why they called him slick, because there were very few ball-headed players at the time. It was the 70s. Everybody had long hair, and he was slick in that headband. And he's
they got a lot of long hair players these days, but it's a little different style.
The 70s, man, you had a lot of hair.
afros. So, but it was a signature look, and he was not everybody looked like it, and he was kind of just a slick handling guard, and but fun, man, but a character too, Charlie.
Well, that's why he was so. Everybody liked
charismatic. Man.
Yes, I'm going to say everybody liked him. I'm sure the players who were playing against him maybe didn't, but the crowd. He stayed in the Seattle area. He lived there the rest of his life. He was an elementary school teacher there for over 20 years.
His kid stays in town to go to UW.
And every time they would do one of these reunions, they would, hey, he's drawing long lines and stuff like that. Passed away at the
popular
age
player
of 70.
But played way longer with Seattle than the Jazz.
Yeah, he only played a one season with the
Jazz.
Is
that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like 76, 77?
78 with
78,
the Jazz,
okay.
And then he finished up, he went a few games with the Rockets, and then he retired the following year. Second class, good with a chance to be great. This may be a bit of a stretch, but try this one on for size. Deion Sanders came up with an idea that I think is interesting. Everybody's trying to modify their spring games. Either, if you're like Matt Rule and you don't want other people to see your guys on TV, you're worried about them transferring. Maybe you're worried about injuries. Steve Sarkisian at Texas is like, man, we've played, 31 games the last 2 years. I'm a little bit worried about wear and tear. And some coaches, Brian Kelly said, hey, we just rather get some situational scrimmage work done. We'll let you watch that. Deion came up with an idea. He said, I'd actually like to play a spring game against another team. Okay. I'm not the biggest spring football fan. Spring games, when you got to divide up your own roster, are excruciating to watch, because you either got the first team against the second team. It's a mismatch, or you have no continuity. It's spring anyway. So spring games are generally pretty ragged, but you do want to see the team a little bit. Why not see him against somebody else? He says that not only would he play a team, Syracuse called him up. Fran Brown said, we'll play. We'll go. Now, of course, that's against the rules at this point, but it doesn't mean that it can't get the conversation
Who's
started.
Making these rules still?
The NCAA. I know. But
this is the only way to save this. This thing is,
spring games, you and I have been to enough of them. They're awful. Okay. They're from a football continuity standpoint, they're just awful.
Charlie, now the last one I went to, I said, no more.
Yeah.
Done. No, you weren't there.
No, this was a couple years ago. They made you wait around for 2 hours or something.
Over 2 hours to start. Man.
It's
count me out, man.
It's a football practice, and as I've said a million times about spring, it's not that spring is useless for the team. It's extremely important for the team, extremely important for the coaches. But as a spectator sport, it's lousy for the fans, because it's all scripted. The coaches have to see what they got to see, and the public's not really privy to whatever that is. But if they played somebody else. Okay.
No, that's it. That's it. Yes.
What if LSU played Southern Miss in a 30-minute, basically spring scrimmage? Well, I might watch that, or they played Rice, or I'm not saying they would play Texas or
no Rice. Rice doesn't want to get beat up on. You gotta pay a
Southern
little.
Miss.
Nah, I think a little. You could do better than that too.
Cincinnati.
What? Damn! Get the ACC SEC Spring Challenge.
Okay. Wake Forest.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Virginia,
Okay.
Georgia Tech.
I mean, I don't want to play Clemson necessarily.
Or the
but
AC, I mean, the SEC, do the, the one part of the, this 8 playing the Big 12, this 8 playing the ACC. And if someone to pass, Duke wants to pass, well, North Carolina, then with Florida State, then we go to Miami. And so, I mean, you and alternate, back and forth, try and do 8. But this is the only way to salvage this. This is tough watching, man.
And we're football people. We like watching
college football people.
Yeah, we like watching
Yes.
football. And this is it's a really tough thing. So, hey, listen.
There's just so much more out there now, man.
Dion bringing this up puts a little bit of light on it. So, hey, can we have this conversation? Is this something that's possible? And everybody doesn't have to do it. If you're at Missouri,
He's pushing for it.
He said yesterday, he goes, "I'd like to play a spring game against another team, and that's what I'm trying to do
Good for
right
him.
now." And Fran Brown from Syracuse, was at Georgia.
That would be a great little matchup.
Said, I will go play you. Now, I don't expect that they'll get this done this year, but if it can get the conversation started, good with a chance to be great. Let's see. And if it stinks, well, we'll put this on the shelf and we'll try something. We know the product that they've got now is so bad and so unwatchable for just a layman fan that I'm willing to try something else. And if that doesn't work, well, we gave it a shot. I mean, it's April. Okay. I'm not expecting football in April to be at the highest level. I get a lot of freshmen and,
a lot of high schools don't even do it now.
And
that
then,
was you would have
usually,
spring football and you would have a spring game.
Yeah.
I mean, or scrimmage.
You could scrimmage against somebody else.
Yes. I mean, it would
recently,
have.
And they do that in May.
Back when I was trying to get, do my recruiting pre-existence of rivals and, the specialty recruiting services. I mean, that was my big way, like a meet would go play Denham Springs or something. I mean, it was a a way to kind of evaluate, in the spring when things are kind of down. No, it'd be, man, they're showing these spring games on, and I get it. It's at least and they're not just on the game itself, but they're talking football, they're talking the program, they're talking about the changes and things like that. I get that. So it's a kind of a talk show while you're showing the game with the, kind of a balance between. I get that, but man, to have 2 teams involved, I think it would be.
Give it a shot, man.
Yes, the players don't want to hit against it, or it's a break from that too.
Right, 15 days of that. No class. We love it when politicians get involved in sports, don't we? It's just wonderful. West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey lashed out at the NCAA Tournament Selection Committee saying West Virginia deserved to be in the tournament. He put a sign up on the podium, National Corrupt Athletic Association. This is a miscarriage of justice and robbery at the highest levels. Well, let's take a look at this here for a second. West Virginia finished 19-13 on the season. They had a net of 51. They were 10-10 in their conference. And in their last game, which counts just the same as the other games, they lost in the Big 12 tournament to Colorado, who finished in the Big 12 last. You want to make a case for West Virginia, I'll hear it. They were 10-13 against the top 2 quadrants. They finished 10-10 in what is a good basketball league, but not the top basketball league. But a miscarriage of justice, a robbery at the highest levels? No, I don't think so. I don't even think they were the biggest snub in the tournament committee. I mean, I think that there were at least 1 or 2 other teams that maybe I could make another case for, but the grandstanding, I can't let it go. I'm sorry. You want to make a case. Don't act like this was Florida State going undefeated and being left out of the football playoff, okay? You finished 19-13. This is not a miscarriage of justice. This is not something you have to hold a press conference for. So real quick, when the politicians get involved in sports, the results are usually pretty bad. I would say Patrick Morrisey, the West Virginia governor, lands in that box. So that is no class.
Guess what? a lot of people kind of respect. A lot of people are applauding him because they think that the North Carolina thing was so bad.
It's two different things, in my opinion. Okay, if you want to say North Carolina shouldn't be in, and that there is a bias because their athletic director has run the committee, I'll hear that argument all day, and I think it's legit.
The head of the committee has to be from somewhere.
So let him be from Robert Morris or Coppin State, or
What if Robert Morris loses in their tournament final?
Well, Robert,
he's got to be from somewhere.
He's got to be from somewhere.
It's like the
media
member. Well, Reese Davis is from Alabama. Well, he's got to be from somewhere.
Yeah.
Chris Fowler has got to be from. He had to graduate from somewhere. Colorado.
Plenty of guys up there.
LSU guys aren't biased at all.
Yes, right. He's got to be from somewhere. I get it. Make it from somewhere that's unlikely to be. I mean, North Carolina. Okay. I mean, of all teams, it's one of the most visible basketball programs.
You can't criticize once it happens. You criticize when he's named.
Right.
Okay, you can't be reactionary.
Why do they have to be sitting ADs? Why can't they be recently retired ADs or coaches that are out of work that year? Or I mean, I can come up with some qualified people that don't have a direct tie to somebody.
Coaches out of it just 1 year don't want to be on the committee.
Okay, give me a coach that's been out of it 5. What's Huggy Bear doing?
He doesn't want to be dealing with. Trust me.
Okay.
Can
you find 11 people to get on a committee that do not have a direct tie to a program this year? Give me an hour. I'll come up with a list.
Charlie, there's a chance. The first team out of your mouth was Robert Morris. That could have been a big conversation.
Okay.
I mean, UCSD. I mean, what about them? I mean, that would have been a big one. You just, you don't know.
But
they don't name it. Don't name it. A week before. Here's our committee.
Right. I'm willing to take my chances that Robert Morris or Coppin State or Sienna's AD is not going to be.
Who's on the college baseball? Who's the chair of their committee
this year?
No, but irregularly. Is it usually an AD from the ACC or the SEC?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's the same crap.
And I've got a problem with that too.
Okay, it's the same thing.
Skip was on the committee.
So you're more interested, you're more committed.
Yeah.
Basketball programs usually going to lean on them for these type of positions.
Yeah,
that's the way it goes.
John Cohen was the committee chair when he was AD.
Let's take Montana State's AD for the baseball committee. Let's take Florida's AD for the hockey committee. Well, it just doesn't. You want guys that are into it a little bit, right?
I do.
Okay. The North Carolina AD is going to be more basketball oriented than most of them, right?
Yeah, and you run the and he's supposed to leave the room. We all know the rules.
But that's fine. But that's the optics really
they're terrible.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with West Virginia. I understand last team in.
Most people think West Virginia was first team out. I've heard odds makers say that.
Okay, and that's right.
Who'd you say? Who you thinking for Indiana or Boise?
Yeah, Ohio State was right there too. You lose 13 games. You go 10-10 in your conference. You lose your last game to the last place team in the league. You've lost the high ground on saying this is a miscarriage of justice and robbery. He's grandstanding. Okay. You want to make a case for West Virginia? I can make a case for West Virginia. Do I think this is the biggest snub in the history of? No, it's not. It's not that. So let's be reasonable
there's just some layers to this. It's not your typical no class slam dunk.
Well, the grandstanding part of it was I'm
defending the rim today.
I consider the North Carolina piece a separate piece from what happened to West Virginia. And I know
he's tied it in.
I know, and I don't.
Okay.
I think he's. I think he's grandstanding without the strongest case.
They did not identify the first team out or the last team out.
It's Indiana, Ohio State.
They identified that.
Yeah,
West Virginia was the first team out.
West Virginia's the first.
The last team out, you mean?
No, the first team out. Like they were
69
or 65, whatever. They were the team that didn't get in. But Indiana and Ohio State were right there.
The chairman
I'm just getting it back. The wordage can be done both ways. But the thing, so he's telling you they were the next team.
The chairman tried to excuse it by saying, "Well, if UAB won," and
So
beat
Charlie,
Memphis,
he's
they
telling
would've
you,
been in.
that the committee told that they were our next team. So I mean,
And
it does
every-
tie in because Carolina's probably the last.
Every year we have this discussion about who the
I
last few
get
teams
it.
are
I
gonna
get
know.
no. To that, no. This is not. There's been way bigger robberies in West Virginia.
And that's
no.
my point. That's my
I'm
point.
with you on that.
Yeah.
But if they told us West Virginia was the next, they were getting it. They were next in line.
You watched them play. You watched Indiana play and Ohio State play. They're all pretty much
they lost their best player.
I get it.
DeVries. No. But that was a big deal. Why
Yeah.
their season kind of it tapered off, and he's not coming back. Their criteria, you could say, but they admitted player availability is something that who snuck in there another rest again on me, and I freaking missed. Man, I was pretty good on Friday. Arizona didn't play McMillan and Williams again.
I forgot
Out of nowhere.
Forgot.
It was probably 4 to Arizona.
Forgot about that.
Well, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, they I'm not saying it's the right thing to, but keep in mind, and in Texas, of course, in Tennessee. So I hit Wisconsin. This is the 5 on Wisconsin winner, Maryland winner, Creighton winner. All pretty comfortable, by the way. Texas plus 9.5, down 9 with 8 seconds. Let him dribble. Go home, please.
No.
With 8 seconds. No. They put Ziegler on the team.
Your buddy.
And in Texas Tech just takes the second and third leading scorers out. 30 points a game. Huh. You know one thing you won't get robbed on, Charlie?
What's
you know what that? And that is when you're trying to get that restaurant style rice, you got to get the parboiled rice.
King of the segue, man.
From the Supreme Rice.
Yeah.
It is a game changer. It is thick. It's long grain. It's sturdy. It's clean. It is a difference maker, man. You got to try it out. We had one of our listeners say, man, I went and tried that parboiled rice. Man, you are right. I'm telling you, it is legit. So it's available at all the local grocery stores where you typically get your Supreme Rice, but this product is my favorite. I love it, man. Great stuff. And you support Louisiana rice farmers that are supporting future Louisiana rice farmers.
Pick it up at your local Rouse's, Walmart's, all your AG food stores. Supreme Rice. For more, you're going out tailgating for baseball or softball, make it with Supreme Rice. And for more information, great recipes, go to supremerice.com. Break it here at Doe's Eat Place live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Hi, this is Ashley McDaniel with Landmark Bank. At Landmark Bank, we offer competitive CD rates, business and personal accounts, loans, mobile banking, and more. But what sets us apart is our personal touch and passion for our community. We believe that the future of our bank depends on the success and satisfaction of our customers. Come see a friendly face and someone who knows you and your business and wants to help you accomplish your goals. We're now open in Brewley and would love to talk to you. Give us a call at 225-250-5411 or stop in and see us. LandmarkBankLA.com.
Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Majestic Metals is located in Sorrento with over 60 years experience in the pre-engineered metal building industry. Majestic Metals is the leading metal roofing manufacturer with high-quality products, superior customer service, and a fast turnaround. We offer both commercial and residential roofing, including a standing seam panel in a variety of colors with a 40-year paint warranty. A metal roof can add value to your home and is energy efficient. Call Majestic Metals at 225-675-3800 and talk to our knowledgeable sales staff for all your commercial and residential needs. Visit us on the web at majesticmetalsinc.com.
When you've been in the industry for over 20 years, you learn a few things. For one thing, you learn your product. inside and out. But you also learn how to ask the right questions and give satisfying answers. Jim's Firearms.
When you're in a crisis, every second counts. If you're suicidal, facing addiction, or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, you don't need to endure a long wait in a crowded ER. Come to the Bridge Center for Hope for immediate help. We're here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to offer help when you need it most. The Bridge Center. We're not a hospital, but we'll treat you like it's an emergency.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, big cheesy Lou, and those Louis original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
Maybe you've heard that word of mouth is the best advertising. At Guaranteed Media, we agree.
We have the biggest mouths in town.
4 local radio stations featuring influencers from Baton Rouge.
Local radio speaks to local people.
And our stations have the audience you need. Our marketing executives will help you fine-tune your message to reach potential customers more effectively. To learn more,
visit 1045ESPN.com and click connect. That's 1045ESPN.com and click connect.
Jake and James of Trash Rangers. How does $13.95 a month for residential trash pickup sound to you? Go to trashrangers.com for all the info and make the switch today. That's trashrangers.com.
Arrow Termite Control. Termite control starting at $349. When the bugs gotta go, call Arrow Termite and Pest Control.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Joe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
And we're brought to you in part by Coastal Capital Advisors, because when it comes to retirement, there are no two situations exactly alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's need, no matter what your age or your financial situation. Let them work out a lifetime plan for you, same way that they have done for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376. Coastal Capital Advisors online. It's coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, member FINRA SIPC. Can I tell you, I love the fact that we got a great game right out the gate on Thursday, or one of the most anticipated games in Creighton and Louisville.
Oh, man.
I always hate it when they lead off with NCAA tournament 11 o'clock. Yeah, tip, and it's 2 versus 15, and it's one of these. It's a 20-point spread or something like that. We criticize them when they do things wrong with the scheduling, like we're not. There's a lot of people pretty bent out of shape that the LSU women's team has to play at 9:15 on Saturday night, and I don't blame them. But they got a really good game right out of the gate. The first one, Creighton and Louisville, one of the ones that were kind of spotlighted in the first round. It's intriguing. Louisville's underseeded. We've obviously got a little bit of knowledge of the Creighton program and what McDermott has done. They
started slow this year. They started slow, and it was against Kansas at home when Kansas was number 1 that kind of got them going, got them the team going, and also Kalkbrenner. Kalkbrenner was moving slow earlier this year. He was he got it going. So in that game, he really did a number on Dickinson. To the where Creighton and McDermott is one of the more respected coaches in there, and this guy at Louisville is doing it in a short period of time as well. At College of Charleston and now at Louisville, one of the biggest turnarounds. How many conference games did they win last year?
One
or two. They won like 15 this year.
Louisville, had turned into one of the worst teams in major college basketball.
Well, they're not going to sit around.
No,
I mean they want to win. They've always had one of the top budgets, usually top 5 in all of college basketball, and they'll recover.
They won 3 last year. I'm sorry, 5 games over 2 years under Kenny Payne, and Kelsey has them 18-2. They went from 3-17 to
15 game improvement.
Yes,
What was Missouri's improvement?
What did Missouri finish in the league? They were
10-8.
They were 10-8 or 11-7. They were 0-18 last year. So whatever that is.
So Louisville is the biggest improvement.
Yeah. 15 games. Man,
15 conference games.
15 conference games.
But everybody's giving St. John's all the love in the world, right?
Patino's a bigger name than Pat Kelsey, and St. John's is in New York.
Well, this is the point.
Yeah.
I mean, the people, they're one of the teams. I give them a chance to win it all. There aren't many. It's about 5, and they're one of them. Creighton is beating them on their home floor in the Garden, and that thing was rocking on Saturday night, midway through the second half. Then they collapsed, but I mean they have had these games, man. So Creighton is a dangerous team. Creighton is certainly no newcomer to this tournament. McDermott is no newcomer to this tournament, both here and Northern Iowa. So it's a great game. Yeah, really good game, and it's a tough first round assignment for Creighton. It's a tough first round assignment for both of these teams. Are capable of more than just your typical 8-9 team.
Absolutely. And if you're not at a sports book, we got a great setup coming up for us at the Beau Rivage. But if you can only watch one game, if you're wherever you sit, you got to watch it. You can start Creighton and Louisville. You can go to McNeese and Clemson for the second game, Arkansas and Kansas for the third game, and UC San Diego and Michigan for the fourth game, which we understand is
those are the first 4 games.
No, that's not the first 4 games. Those are 4 games that are perfectly staggered. You can watch from beginning.
I got you.
End. No, they follow up Creighton and Louisville with Houston's going to play Edwardsville. Auburn's going to play whoever wins tonight. Montana's going to play Wisconsin. You got some not as great games after that, but the first one's really
Here you go again. Guess what? One of those not great games,
not great matchups
is going to be the one that gives us the biggest thrill.
Montana's a 17.5-point dog to Wisconsin. Maybe they play them off their feet. Who knows?
They might.
We see it every year.
Well, Wisconsin's played 4 games in a row: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, they want to cry about the LSU women. How about this one? They got off the floor at 5:00 Sunday.
Okay, yeah.
They play Thursday.
Yeah.
Any altitude against a team from some altitude. Congratulations.
Yeah, welcome to Denver.
Yeah. So I mean, they and the time too.
12:30. 12:30. Yeah, you're right. When we start to look at it like
that's
that.
pretty quick turnaround, huh?
Yes.
I mean, it's just foolish.
You
can't do. Look,
avoidable things.
Those teams that play Sunday, with there 5 of them. You got SEC, Big Ten, Atlantic 10, American
is Memphis one,
and Ivy. They play on Friday. Those 10 teams play on Friday.
And while you're at it, leave the home floors down and don't put these generic floors down. Can I complain?
Oh,
about that again?
That's so bad. And
they're going to take Big Blue off the floor at Rupp Arena, man.
I know you just
that's
don't.
awful.
But
you got a chance to have some character in these things.
Do you like the Marlboro Man more in the local ads at Rosenblatt more than the sterility of what you have now? I do.
I liked Rosenblatt better.
But I mean, we knew this game was at the Pit when Valvano was running down the screen. Okay,
Right.
we knew this thing was at Rupp Arena when Villanova shoots 75% for the game from the floor. We know these games. We knew this game was at Boise.
I was about to say, you remember Shaquille's last game?
Yes.
Was it the red, white, and blue 3-point line at
but
Boise?
there was another big one at Boise. Was it Tyus Edney?
Against Missouri,
coast to coast against
Missouri,
UCLA.
I don't remember.
Against
that
Missouri, and they went all the way to the final. I mean, it just come on.
No, you
man.
had a little bit of character to it.
You see that big Salt Lake City and that kind of wall and a big red, base in Utah, and this is adding to it. You're not preserving anything.
When you put a basketball floor on the floor at Rupp Arena, damn it ought to be blue. I'm sorry, and I got no allegiance to Kentucky basketball, but That floor ought to be there.
It's
first world problem.
But I don't think the Arkansas-Kansas game was very good personally. I mean, you got an underachieving team, and Arkansas is lucky to be
more of a storyline game than a great basketball game, probably. Because of the coaches.
Yeah, the coaches. But I mean,
Boogie Flan may play.
No, he's expected to play.
So.
He's expected to play, no doubt about that. Don't forget our friends over at Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. I sure wish I knew about Relief Windows with the original construction of my home, because guess what? In South Louisiana, we have some extreme weather conditions. 100 degrees, 100% humidity, to snow, to algae, to mold, to humidity. It's just tough, and it wears out these wooden doors. But that's the great thing about, the windows, doors, siding, and shutting. But the great thing about our wood windows is that they are treated. Not just are they treated, but they're built to last. Okay, that's the great thing about it. The wood windows, again, the RLast, the gelled wood windows that combine the beauty of real wood with high-tech energy efficiency features of all climate zones. And we got it with Extreme Wind here in South Louisiana. RLast wood gel windows come with a 20-year general warranty and a lifetime limited warranty against rot and termites, providing you years of beauty and minimal maintenance. Give them a call at 230-5652, Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com.
Live at Doe's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
When luxury meets performance, something extraordinary happens. Meet the Mercedes-Benz GLE. Feel the rush as it glides effortlessly over the road, all designed with you in mind. But this isn't just any luxury SUV. For a limited time, you can experience the Mercedes GLE at an exclusive rate of 1.99% financing on select models, available now through March 31st. That's right. Luxury, performance, and the best interest rate you've ever seen. But don't wait, this offer won't last long. Come see us at Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge.
This is Charles Hannegriff for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
The Fusion Implant Center would like to thank all of our patients for allowing us to be part of their life-changing transformations. Hi, this is Dr. Leo Reagan.
And I'm Dr. Michael Casadaband. Imagine eating, tasting, and smiling with confidence again, all in just one day. With the Fusion Implant System, you can say goodbye to dentures and replace your missing teeth for good.
Curious why your dentist recommends the Fusion Implant Center? It's simple. We're the only doctors in Louisiana that do what we do.
We're proud to be the only facility in Louisiana where you receive comprehensive treatment all in one place, provided by the same dedicated team of board-certified experts. It's no wonder so many dentists refer their patients to us every single day.
So don't wait any longer. Make today the day you change your smile forever. Call us or visit FusionImplantCenter.com. Remember, one moment can change a day, and one day can change your life. Your perfect smile starts at the Fusion Implant Center.
Run with us on a John Deere Z365R Z-Track mower, built for taking it easy. With the Easy Change 30-second oil change system and standard mulch control to control your clippings without any extra effort. Because lawns aren't just for mowing, they're for living. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere Z300 for more.
Pre-order your new John Deere at Ascension Equipment on Airline Highway in Gonzales. Pre-order now and get your mower before the grass grows.
Looking to buy, build, or refinance a home? At GMFS Mortgage, we make it easy because we're local. Our underwriting and processing happens right here in the Baton Rouge office. That means faster approvals, smoother closing, and real people who understand your needs. For over 26 years, we've helped our neighbors in Louisiana achieve the dream of home ownership. Visit GMFSmortgage.com to get started today. We are GMFS Mortgage, your local lender.
GMFS.
NMLS number 64997 is an equal housing lender. Mortgages originated at 7389 Florida Boulevard, Suite 200A, Baton Rouge, Louisiana 70806.
TRICARE Automotive has another great TRICARE Tuesday offer for you. For a limited time, get $25 off our oil change and tire rotation combo by stopping by and saying TRICARE Tuesday, even if it's not Tuesday.
Louisiana's big weather can mean big damage to your roof. Our team offers free inspections and guarantees your satisfaction. Call 756-8603 or visit riceandroofing.com.
Just to be on the safe side.
Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road, near Starring since 1988.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Joe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Here at Doe's Eat Place, live at lunch. The NIT starts tonight. The NIT has been an afterthought for a long time. Jimmy, when's the last time the NIT really stroked any interest of?
It never does.
I
mean, if your team is making a run, you might have some schools. I guess last year, Indiana State being snubbed, made it to the finals. I think they lost 2 of 3. Do they play 2 of 3? Am I getting that right?
Yeah, they did.
Sure.
Or was that might be the CBI. It's the CBI.
The NIT doesn't now.
I'm ashamed to say I don't even know. I guess my point that I wanted to make here real quick is we've got other tournament basketball going on. The Crown Tournament in Las Vegas, which has some NIL dollars tied to it. The NIT has been a relic for years and is, dare I say, on the verge of extinction. When you look at this year's field, has only 4 power conference schools in it. Oklahoma State, Georgia Tech, SMU, and I'm forgetting one. But only 4 of them: the Stanford, Oklahoma State, SMU, and Georgia Tech. The bottom 2 teams in the SEC turned you down. I don't know how many other tournament teams or power conference teams turned them down. That number's a little bit elusive, but it had to be some of them. Then you had the embarrassment of inviting a team and having to uninvite a team. You're going up against a tournament that for the NCAA runner-ups, basically, those teams were close, that is paying you to go and do this. And the NCAA tournament is on the verge of, I think we're going to see 78 teams but before. I'm not wild about the idea, but I think we're going to see that.
So the new Crown Tournament in Las Vegas, but it starts late. It starts Monday, March 31st.
Yeah.
Tuesday, April 1st, Wednesday, April 2nd. I mean, I guess they cleared out the way because it's all in 1 week.
Yeah, and by the time
it's
you
the first,
get to that
second,
point in the NCAA
third,
tournament,
fourth.
Everybody's gone except the Final 4 teams, right?
What's that?
By the time they start their tournament, the whole NCAA tournament is down to 4 teams, right?
What is March 31st?
Yeah,
Charlie?
that's the week before the Final 4.
That's okay. So and then they go on.
You're not going.
So they're going to play. Okay. So their semifinals are going to be prelims for the Final 4. They're going to be on Final 4 Saturday.
Oh, they're going to be on the same day. I didn't
Yes,
realize
yes,
that.
that's
Okay.
what I'm showing here. It'll be 12:30 and 3 o'clock. So that will be, instead of 5:20. So
Yeah.
these will start. These will go, and then they're going to play Sunday at 4:30. Their championship. But major conference teams: Big East, Big 12, and then you got some Mountain West, Big East, Big 12, Big 10. Georgetown, Washington State, Nebraska, Arizona State, Boise, George Washington, Utah, Butler, Cincinnati, DePaul, Oregon State, Central Florida, Villanova, Colorado, Tulane, Southern Cal.
What's the future of non-NCAA basketball? This is going to replace the NIT, right? At some point,
This is more compact. It's a
the
little
schedules-
late.
I like that, because if the NIT in the first couple of rounds are up against anything that's got NCAA basketball related, I'm going
Right.
to watch that. I mean, I might watch LSU.
Yeah, this
if they got
dodges it completely.
You get
Yes.
You have a nice appetizer for the Final Four games. You at least it's something that's
So
on.
ESPN, it's their turn to counter, because this is a Fox-driven thing.
Yeah.
The two ESPN leagues are SEC and ACC,
And they tried to
they're
get
out.
and they tried to get SEC and ACC teams into it. The two SEC teams turned them down. I think they got three
Not
out
to
of
this.
I'm talking about the NIT.
No, but
You said
you're jumping around.
Okay.
This is the model to follow.
Yeah.
Don't you think this is the model to follow for
Absolutely.
the SEC and ACC?
Yes.
ACC, and then they can, or ESPN, to have some, but they have, the women aren't playing at that time.
That week they're down to their Final Four also.
Yeah, they play on Friday, Sunday, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They play Friday, Sunday still.
They do.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're providing basketball at a time where, you're still on the tail end of the NCAA tournament. You've got other
Let me
games.
see if they-
These NIT games that are up against anything NCAA related, I'm not.
Guess
gonna pay
what?
attention
They
to.
dodged the women's Final Four Friday too. No games Friday.
No games Friday.
Yeah.
That's what the future is.
You might spend Monday through Sunday. Two teams are going to spend Monday through Sunday in Las Vegas.
The worst places. Beats going to Dayton.
Class. NIL classes.
The players still go to school. When did that happen? I missed
North
that.
Carolina was ahead of their time.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Classes that don't
These
exist.
made-up classes were
Now they're-
available to the entire student
they're
body,
common.
not just the basketball players. Okay, you're good.
This, yes,
That's my favorite.
No, it's offered to everybody. No, this eliminates the NIT. It's
Can we are we ready to scrub the moralists? Have you seen Patino parade on all the major shows and everything else being just paraded around? Quoted this and that. He's just. I mean, is it just done?
If they play Arkansas in the second round, okay, he and Calipari are going to be on the
St.
same
John's
court
is a
together.
Catholic school, right?
Yeah.
A religious school, right?
Those
Have
two
they
guys-
forgiven his sins?
Yes.
And LSU can't?
In the interest of wins. You're going to see Calipari and Patino next to each other, and they are going to be celebrated like Hail the Conquering Hero. And these are two of the dirtiest players in the game. Okay, have been for a long time.
Yes,
documented dirtiest players in the game.
But guess
and
what?
CBS is going to hype this up like this is Bird versus Magic again.
But that's a machine gun versus a pocket knife on the bench, bro. That is a no contester. That is not. That
And
is
on the floor too.
That is a win.
At least
But
in
Patino
this,
will chew him up and spit him out on the bench. Look what he put together and got him in there. 6 different schools. 6 different schools.
He's a good coach. Good coach.
Is it bad to set up your recruits with prostitutes? Is that bad?
It's definitely against the rules.
You sure?
We're talking about the rules.
No, law.
now.
Is there a
The
rule?
rules, yes.
Like the Astros. there's
Maybe
a
the
rule.
prostitutes were available to the entire student body and not just the.
If the brothel is open to everybody, then it's okay. Is that what we're saying?
I don't know, man. This is you want to be a moralist in college basketball? Guess what? You get what you get.
Who was it that had the who was it that had the quote years ago? You can either cheat or you can finish last. Those are your choices.
No.
I screwed up the quote.
The man who bit the towel. He used to bite on the
Tarkanian,
towel.
yeah,
Okay.
Tarkanian.
He said, not everybody's cheating. They're just finishing 9th and 10th in the league.
Okay.
This was a 10-team conference era. They're just finishing 9th and 10th.
I didn't have the exact quote down, but that was the gist.
Don't forget our friends at Workbox. Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Even, yes, for just moving residential. These storage units, the home box units, the residential units. Now they're available in 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, 8x40 feet. You can use them for whatever you want, for hunting, for on-site construction, work sites for plumbers or welders, offices, part storage, part office, climate control, shelving, lighting, different materials, whatever you need, whatever you desire. Give my buddy Martin Padiella and Workbox a call at 343-4886, workboxllc.com.
Live at Doe's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
At Lowe's, our members get more with the My.
Whenever you're ready, Jordan.
It's rolling.
This is Charles Hanniger. Join us for the work. This is Charles Hanniger. Join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from the Beau Rivage in Biloxi. We're getting ready for the NCAA tournament. The first four already underway. 3 straight days of coverage from the Beau. Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Pizza boxes.
Landscaping business?
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Doe and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5, exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
This is Ben McDonald for First South Farm Credit. If you're looking to buy or refinance land, you need to make First South your first call. First South's been financing rural land for over 100 years, so they have the experience you expect from a land lender. And with flexible terms for up to 30 years and competitive rates, they can build a loan package that's right for you. Whether it's 20 acres in St. Francisville or 120 acres in Mississippi, make First South your first call when financing land. Visit firstsouthland.com.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales.
Power outages are unpredictable, so stay ready with a Generac home standby generator from Boudreaux's Electrical Services. Trusted in South Louisiana, we provide expert installation and service. Call 225-300-9389 or visit boudreauxelectrical.com.
It's the best of all worlds. Great cigars, great cocktails, and an amazing atmosphere. It's Don Juan Cigar Bar. Located in Town Center, Don Juan is the perfect place to enjoy a great cocktail, beer on tap, a wide selection of scotches and bourbons, and of course, a fine premium cigar. Sit back, relax, let the time fade by. Don Juan Cigar Bar. Great cocktails, great cigars, the good life. Check them out online, DonJuanCigarBar.com.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 1045 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Want to check in with us for lunch here at the Crown Town Room at Doe's Eat Place, Government Street here at Mid-City. But tomorrow we'll be heading to Heading to the Beau Rivage, hunkering down here for the next
shows
few
Wednesday,
days.
Thursday, and Friday. Normal time, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Beau Rivage. So I was listening to a show the other night. This guy goes, kind of a relatively new sports gambling host, and he says, you know what? I'm going to go all first half unders for the first games.
Hey, I've heard that before somewhere.
Am I rolling it back again? I'm looking at y'all like I know what I'm doing.
This is 2 years. All right, last year not profitable.
Probably lost a little bit. Not as much. It would made a decent lick 2 years ago. The year before that, in Natchez, it was profitable, not as much. 2 years. 2 years ago was more profitable than it was a loser last year, but it was a loser last year.
They adjusting lines on you,
Charlie. I'm going to sit in downtown Covington in the nice air and do my homework.
Okay.
I go where I can think.
You
Charlie.
know those fellas.
I did the yard work yesterday.
Okay. Those
That's
fellas
cool.
in Las Vegas, they're pretty shifty because when they get beat on something, they usually fix it. So if they were getting beat up on those first half, you ain't the only one to think of this.
No. Last year they was
30?
adjusted. They were really low.
Yeah,
they were really low. But they're all close, man.
Sure.
How many were coming down to the wire?
Thanks to the folks here at Doze for being our host tomorrow. We are at the Beau Rivage for the next 3 days. It is time for the tournament. For Max, for Jimmy, Jordan back in the studio. I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at